Welcome back. So this is the box it comes in. All it shows to the back is that it's a 4GB 64GB box and that it can show in 4K UHD quality. So without wasting time, I will do a quick unboxing. So in the box you have the usual stuff. You get the HK1 TV box itself. You get this infrared remote. It's a standard infrared point-and-click remote. Some people like to use them, but as an advanced user, you may want to consider using a wireless air mouse or a mini touchpad keyboard for easier navigation. See the link in the description area for a new listing. You get one HDMI cable, a 5 volts 2 amps power adapter, and a user's manual. Let's see what ports you have on this box. The entire body is made of plastic with a glossy surface and the HK1 logo printed to the top. Well, to the back of the box, so to speak, you have all the ports wrapped around the edge in a circular fashion. From the left you have one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0, one audio-video port, one HDMI port. You have one Ethernet LAN port of which I don't know the rating yet. Here is your DC power input jack. And the last port here is a microSD card reader. To the front, you have an LED clock display. And to the bottom, you have lots of ventilation holes. I will now set it up on my TV and capture card, and when I return we'll get into the detailed stuff. So the box is connected. And as I initiate the first boot up process, I am greeted by a picture of the box, followed by a logo animation for a couple of seconds. Followed by this first startup wizard that you only have to complete once. After the wizard, you are taken directly to the launcher. So here we are at the launcher. And we have seen this one before, and it's kinda now the standard layout used in most boxes these days. The cool thing about this launcher is that you have these large main buttons that you can actually change using the stock remote. This is done by pressing the OK button and selecting which shortcut you would like to replace the current one with. Among the main buttons, you have a one-click memory cleanup button for killing apps in the background and freeing up system resources. You also have the standard shortcuts bar for adding shortcuts to the launcher. While these are nice features, they forgot to include the most important feature of all. They forgot to include a navigation bar and status bar for easy navigation and multitasking, a feature that comes in handy if you navigate your box with an air mouse or mini touchpad keyboard. However, I have a fix for this. You can now install the menu button app and the Snowball app as a fix to this issue. For a tutorial on how to install and configure these two apps, see my tutorial links in the description area. In the settings area they have included the following. 4K display resolution up to 2160p at 60 Hz. You can search and connect your Bluetooth devices. For surround sound enthusiasts, you have the option to let the box automatically select the required digital audio output, or you can enable all the digital surround features manually. Popular options include Dolby Atmos, DTS Audio, and Dolby True HD to name a few. I will test if these features actually work later in the video. In the apps section, they have pre-installed the following. AirPin Pro, APK Pure, which is an app store, Chrome browser, 3 different file browsers, Lightning, which is another browser, Mobdro for live streaming, Netflix, the Google Play Store, Amazon Prime Video, RKMC, which is Kodi Media Player, Showbox, the VLC Player, and YouTube. I will add some apps of my own and continue. So I have installed all my apps. And first I will check to see if alternative launchers work on this box. I installed the ADW Launcher 2, and it works fine on this box. All features are working. including the long click pop-up menu, and the drag and drop shortcuts feature. If you value screen rotation, I have some good news. Screen rotation works on this box. I will now show its root information. And it shows that the box is rooted, running on Android 9 operating system. And the warning still remains, that you must not try to update the Super User app, as it will put the box into a permanent boot loop that will require a flash of the firmware to fix it. The DRM information shows that you have Google Widevine Level 3, and no HDCP protection. This only allows Netflix to show in standard 420p quality. And now a look at its system and hardware information. The manufacturer of this box is Rockchip and the model is the HK1 Max. It comes with 4 GB of RAM, which is DDR3 memory, and this is the remainder of the storage from the 64 GB after the Android installation and all the apps I have installed. The Bluetooth version here is 4+, which indicates that the Bluetooth version is 4.0. The CPU is a 64-bit quad-core ARM Cortex-A53 CPU running up to 1.2 GHz. Below here it shows that the box has support for both 32 and 64-bit ABIs, allowing it to run both types of applications. The display is powered by the ARM Penta-Core Mali 450 processor, with a refresh rate of 60 Hz and OpenGLES version 2.0, which is not so good for latest high graphics games. Under network, it shows that the box has dual-band 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi support. Under Android information, it shows that the version is Android 9 Pie operating system, and it also shows that the box is rooted. Under thermal information, it shows that the box runs between 55 to 70 degrees Celsius under normal operation, and this heat would explain the reason for clocking the CPU at 1.2 GHz. And I recommend using passive cooling on this box. The box comes with codecs for playing 4K videos, the two main ones being Video HEVC and H.264 decoder, and I will test its Dolby and DTS features in a moment. And that's it for system and hardware information, and let's now see the performance of the HK1 Max, and where it fits on my chart. First, I show the results of the RAM and internal storage read and write speeds. The results show that the HK1 Max has a RAM copy speed of 3139 MB per second. The internal storage has a read speed of 39 MB per second and a write speed of 43. This score is a bit low, but consistent with other RK30-328 boxes. Next, I have the results of the Wi-Fi speed test. The results show that the box only has maximum speed on the 5 GHz band. The 2.4 and the LAN port, they both fell slightly below the maximum speed of my internet package of 60 MB. In the Antutu benchmark, seeing that this box only has OpenGLES 2.0, I could only run the old Antutu version 6 that is compatible, resulting in a score of 31,178. And from off the top of my head, this score would result in a low placement on my chart, and we will see how it does in a second. The CPU benchmark shows that the box got a Geekbench score of 569 single-core and 1410 multi-core. Another low score which places it among the budget category. The final score is only the Ice Storm Extreme Graphics benchmark because the box does not qualify for the Slingshot test. The other higher test that requires OpenGLES 3.0 or higher to run is not supported. The HK1 Max got an Ice Storm Extreme score of 2104. This is a really low score, and signals that this box is not meant for gaming. And with all the scores now collected, let's see where it places on my chart. So after entering the scores, the HK1 Max ranked at position number 23 on my chart in reference to Antutu benchmark scores. This places it to the bottom of my list, but as another YouTuber once said, benchmarks are benchmarks until you see its performance and see it in live action. So I will run it through some other tests to see if it can surprise us in any way. This chart is available on my website in full spreadsheet format where you can interact with it and compare values. I placed a link in the description area. I will now play some 4K video samples.